Hello folks, and thank you for watching. Today I would like to go into a bit of the electrics of the engine and the motor controller that I bought. This kit that I bought was the engine is one part, the motor controller is a part, and additionally to try out I bought this foot pedal that hooks up on this motor controller. There are a number of wires. So one of the wires that is attached to the controller is the motor sensors. So there are whole sensors inside which need to be detected by the controller here. Then you have a number of other connections. This, for instance, is reverse. And this is the power on connection. We will use that just in a minute. Then there are 3 pins for gears, high speed, medium or low speed. One brake signal that pulls to ground and another brake signal that pulls to plus. And you see here from the foot pedal there is one thing opened and doesn't fit to any of those here, but I would say this is probably a brake switch or would be connected to the switch. With this kit here comes, apart from those connectors here that are already attached, a number of empty shells and pins that you can wire up and crimp to your needs. And also attached to the controller or with the controller there's another connection here. This is mainly for monitoring it on the CAN bus or RS485, and I don't know what this is. And there's a little bit of documentation. This is what they call manual here. Of course, Chinese version of a manual. It's in English, but it shows the different controllers they provide, and it has one little schematic here. How things need to be connected. So what we're going to use is the throttle. This is the throttle pedal. Then the key switch or power on switch that is usually going to a relay that connects the main power of the batteries. I have them already wired up like that here. And I also have connected the motor, the 3-phase motor, according to those colors that are on the screen, on the controller here. The documentation is very, very, very draft, and there are quite a number of things that you can set and adjust. And we will try this out. I bought the motor. The motor was $330. The controller was another $230, and the pedal was something like $50. And shipping costs something like $200 or $160, something like that. So in total about $720. On top of that you need to pay import tax probably into your country. So to try this out, I have the motor here. I attached the controller to the heatsink and I wired up the pedal here. And power is here, so that's from the batteries that we tested some time ago. What I need to do is now to make a power on connection. I don't have the other side of this here, so I will just use those 2 clips to make the contact. So I connect them together. And you maybe heard the beep. So it has now power and there's a little LED blinking here. I just put this coupling on to see how good it runs. And if I engage the pedal, see, seems to work fine. What I already did, and you maybe notice that the motor, when I received it, turns in the wrong direction. and I need to, the forward direction is in the direction counterclockwise, in the direction of this arrow, and the motor was actually turning in the other direction. So what I needed to do is, there is a phone application, I will show you just in a second, where you can set many parameters, and one of them was which is the main forward direction. You could also use the reverse here, but reverse has an automatic limit of the speed in here. So you cannot drive as quick reverse than you would go in forward. So I started now the application, and the connection to the motor controller is via Bluetooth. And you need to log in. Initially you can download the application from the website of the manufacturer, and there is a passcode that you need to enter on the Bluetooth setting here on the phone, which is the serial number of this controller. And once you have done that, it will log in to the controller, so no one can change any parameters just by connecting this application. What you see here, so we are on the application now, and we are monitoring, and you can see how this accelerates and how the current increased. So this is the monitoring mode, and the settings mode that you have, you see here a number of tabs. You can adjust that on the controller. You can monitor the battery, so you can set a value whenever the battery reaches that lower threshold, then the motor is turned off or reduces and things like that. So there are really a number of settings. So I bring you a bit closer to see how this looks like. So this is the motor with the coupling that is on it. This is how the controller looks like, and all the connections that I have here. So this is the motor sensors, and like brake and throttle and switching on and so on, and the throttle pedal. Thank you for watching.